Most people set up their balcony garden completely wrong and do not realize it until they have already wasted money and killed plants. A balcony garden follows different rules from a regular garden, and ignoring those rules is exactly why most balcony gardens fail within the first season. Here are 19 tips that will save you from every mistake beginners make. And if you're already gardening on your balcony, some of these might make you rethink what you're currently doing. Set your budget first. Before buying a single pot or plant, set a clear budget because costs add up faster than anyone expects. Factor in plants, fertilizers, potting mix, and also containers, then look for smart alternatives within that number. Collect cuttings, propagate vegetables from kitchen scraps, and repurpose old containers to build a beautiful garden without overspending. Moving on to the next one, plan in advance. Instagram trends are beautiful, but building your garden around them without considering your actual space and sunlight is one of the most costly mistakes you can make. Make a list of plants genuinely suited to your balcony conditions before buying anything. Planning ahead saves you from impulse purchases that die within weeks and turns your balcony into a space that actually thrives. Now here's one that might surprise you. Start with low-maintenance plants first. If you are new to balcony gardening or simply busy, starting with low-maintenance plants like succulents, pothos, or hardy herbs is the smartest decision you can make. These varieties give your garden a real chance to establish before you take on anything more demanding. A balcony full of healthy, easy-care plants beats a collection of struggling high-maintenance ones every single time. Up next, and this one is a game changer. Watch out for the rules. If you live in a rented apartment or condo, there may be specific regulations about what you can do on your balcony that most people skip reading entirely. Some buildings restrict the weight of pots, limit the use of trellises, or control what is visible from outside. Find out what is permitted before you invest in your setup because discovering these rules after the fact means dismantling everything you built. Here's another one worth knowing. Recycle and reuse. Old containers, jute bags, beer bottles, grocery jars, and coconut shells can all become unique and beautiful planters that give your garden a character store-bought pots cannot replicate. Recycling and reusing keeps your costs down significantly while adding creative depth to your space. It is sustainable, it's affordable, and it makes your balcony look genuinely one of a kind. Let's keep going. Count the sunny hours. Before deciding what to grow, spend a day observing how many hours of direct sunlight your balcony receives, because this single piece of information determines almost everything else. Sun-loving plants like marigolds and tomatoes need long hours of direct light, while shade-tolerant plants like peace lilies and pothos can manage in darker corners. Getting this wrong means placing the right plant in the completely wrong spot, and no amount of care fixes that. This next one is especially important. Do not forget to fertilize. Container plants lose nutrients far faster than ground plants because every watering washes a small amount of nutrition out through the drainage holes. Watch for yellowing leaves, slow growth, or weak stems and respond with the right fertilizer before problems become serious. Water-soluble fertilizers on a regular schedule are the simplest and most effective way to keep your balcony garden consistently well-fed. And here's where it gets really interesting. Make the most of available space. A balcony has far more usable area than most gardeners take advantage of. Walls, railings, ceilings, and corners are all opportunities being ignored. Climbing plants like money plant and jasmine take over vertical space beautifully. Railing boxes hold a full row of herbs, and ceiling hangers add an entirely new dimension to your garden. Thinking vertically turns even the smallest balcony into a lush, layered space that feels far bigger than it actually is. Now for something a little different. Get some flowers. A balcony without flowers is missing its most visually powerful element, and adding even a few flowering plants transforms the entire feeling of the space immediately. Whether you choose bold marigolds, trailing petunias, or fragrant jasmine, flowers bring color and life that foliage alone simply cannot achieve. Choose varieties based on your sunlight, space, and budget, because there is a perfect flowering plant for every type of balcony. Stay with me, this next one is worth it. Strike a balance. A truly beautiful balcony garden mixes perennials and annuals, exotic and native plants, vivid and pastel blooms, and flowering and foliage specimens all working together. Native plants are the easiest to maintain because they're already adapted to your local climate and need far less intervention. Getting this balance right means your balcony always has something interesting happening across every season of the year. And this one right here, do not skip it. Keep the seasons in mind. Timing your garden to the seasons separates gardeners whose plants thrive from those who constantly wonder why nothing works. For flowers, choose varieties with longer blooming seasons so your balcony stays colorful without constant replanting. For vegetables, focus on varieties with shorter harvesting periods so you are actually eating from your garden rather than endlessly waiting. Moving on to the next one, get the ideal pot for your space. Matching the right container to the right location makes a significant difference in how polished your balcony looks and how well your plants grow. Tall, narrow pots work in corners. Railing boxes suit herbs and trailing flowers. Macrame hangers add texture from the ceiling, and ceramics on shelves create a curated, layered look. Choosing containers thoughtfully rather than grabbing whatever's available is one of the simplest upgrades you can make to your entire setup. Now here's one that might surprise you. Experiment with colors. Color is one of the most powerful design tools a balcony gardener has, and most people only scratch the surface of what is possible. Pair with reds, oranges, and yellows for a bold, energetic look, or mix purples, whites, and blues for something calmer and more serene. Colorful foliage plants like caladiums and coleus also give you year-round color without depending on a bloom season. Up next, and this one is a game changer, grow vegetables on your balcony. An edible balcony garden is one of the most rewarding things you can create and far more achievable than most people realize. Herbs like basil, mint, and coriander, along with leafy greens and compact vegetable varieties, grow exceptionally well in containers with the right conditions. Make sure your balcony receives at least 5 to 6 hours of direct sun daily before committing to vegetables. And once that condition is met, the satisfaction of cooking with something you grew yourself never gets old. Here's another one worth knowing. Opt for portable containers. Placing large, heavy planters on wheeled caddies is one of the most practical decisions you can make for your long-term convenience as a balcony gardener. It allows you to move plants indoors during extreme weather, reposition them to follow the sun, and shift them aside for cleaning without any heavy lifting. It's a small investment that saves a disproportionate amount of effort across months and years of gardening. Let's keep going. Use high-quality potting mix. The potting mix you choose is arguably the most important decision you will make because everything your plant does happens in that growing medium. Generic soil compacts quickly, drains poorly, and suffocates roots that need air circulation to stay healthy in containers. Invest in the right mix for what you are growing. Fast draining for succulents, nutrient-rich for vegetables. And getting this right from the beginning saves you from losing plants to invisible problems underground. The next one is especially important. Practice companion planting. Companion planting solves multiple problems simultaneously without chemicals or complicated intervention. Growing basil alongside tomatoes repels pests naturally. Pairing marigolds with vegetables deters insects while adding color. And grouping humidity-loving plants together creates a shared microclimate that benefits all of them. In a limited balcony space, every pot counts. And companion planting means your plants are actively helping each other rather than simply coexisting. And here's where it gets really interesting. Set a watering schedule. Inconsistent watering is one of the most common reasons balcony plants struggle because containers dry out far faster than ground soil, especially in warm or windy conditions. Setting a regular watering schedule removes the guesswork and ensures your garden never goes through the stress of being bone dry and then suddenly overwatered. If your schedule is unpredictable, self-watering planters and drip systems maintain consistent moisture automatically, even when life gets busy. Now for something a little different. Prepare your garden before vacation. Leaving for vacation without preparing your balcony garden is one of the fastest ways to come home to dead plants in a space that needs rebuilding. Set up a self-watering system, group moisture-loving plants together, and hang a light shade cloth over sections that get intense afternoon sun to protect foliage while you're away. A little preparation before you leave means your garden survives your absence and is ready to welcome you back. 19 tips that can completely change how your balcony garden looks and performs, from your first budget decision to your last plant before vacation. The difference between a balcony that thrives and one that disappoints is almost never talent. It's always knowing these things before you begin. If this helped you today, hit like, share it with someone planning a balcony garden. and subscribe because what is coming next will take your green space even further.